So wonderful. So wonderful.
You do need, you need the microphone.
Yes, I know. Good morning, everyone. How are we doing? Good morning. Great. My name is Austin. For those of you that don't know me, I am with Evan DeShong on our team. We have a team upstairs of, I think we're at 11 currently. That sounds right. We'll go with 11. Yes, I should know that, but here we are anyways. We're going to be talking about buyer consultations. Who has done a buyer consultation before? One. I've got one. None. Yes, and oh, we can talk about those too. Oh, we can talk about, and she said she's had some friends who's bought and she didn't do a consultation necessarily. We'll talk about friends. Okay. Well, for I don't know, I think it was five years I was Evan DeShong's lead buyer's agent. Since then, he and I have created a partnership between the two of us. We run Evan's group collectively together, and we have a good time. This class will be interactive because I am an interactive person. But I don't know why you're sitting further back. Oh, my feelings get hurt easily. No, it's good. Okay, let's get into this. What successful agents do every day? We grow business and we run our business. I don't know what you guys have talked about just recently because I haven't been looking at your Ignite elements parts 1 through 4. What'd you guys talk about in the last Ignite? Listing. What did you learn in listings? And that goes for you too online. Not everybody at once. Wow. Oh, that's simple. We can do that today too. Sure. Okay. So you got a listing presentation, but what did you learn from that listing presentation?
Well, he also shared his checklist.
I'm supposed to probably remind you that we're supposed to talk into microphones. I'm sorry. So this is why it would have been good for you guys to sit together because I'm not going to run the mics. Y'all are going to have to figure it out.
So he also showed us his checklist to remind us of all the things that we need to do in the process. So we had like a step-by-step of what to do along the way. So we had, oh, and actually I think it was the questionnaire. We all learned about the questionnaire so that the pre-qualifying the seller to see whether they were A, B, or C, and just really like every single step along the way.
Nice.
Of how to do it.
Great. Okay.
Clarification.
What else? What else did we learn? What was a takeaway? I feel like you have something to say. See, perfect. We know what's up. We're moving the microphone. Hold on, people.
I'll just take this out because I feel like it's easier.
Sure.
He brings a lot of information to listing appointments, more than I would have thought to, like really detailed like CMAs and things you can print out from Command and Flex and just, I don't know, things that I didn't know about. So
yeah, that's good. Do you know why he takes information to a listing?
Make you look more knowledgeable.
To make him look more knowledgeable. Yes. What else? Okay, I like that. Information is power. Information brings clarity. Information brings expertise. Does that make sense to everybody? The more information that you provide, the more impactful information that you can provide, the stronger your success rate will become. Now, am I saying you need to provide them 2 hours worth of information? No, it needs to be pertinent information, absolutely. But that is knowledge knowledge that we have that we can pass on is very powerful, very, very powerful. You want to be called a real estate expert, you need to understand that knowledge so that you can explain it. Let's talk about growing our business. We lead generate for buyers and sellers. We make seller listing presentations and get listings. Today, we're going to talk about make buyer presentations and get listings. And then we preview real estate. How do we run our business? We market to sellers. We market sellers listings. We show buyers houses. We negotiate contracts, transaction management to closing, vendor management, set goals, compliance and risk management, attend training and getting coaching, and then manage money. You never thought that you'd have to learn how to manage money, would you? It's crazy. Okay, that's what successful agents do every day. Yes, that's plain and that's boring. We're gonna move on. Okay, set the appointment, conduct the buyer's consultation. So for those of you who have had a buyer's consultation, how did you get to where you are? And how did you get that consultation?
I'm on a team, so I'm in a little bit of a different situation, but Mark, it was somebody who contacted Mark, and Mark, I'm his buyer's agent, so he handed him off to me. And they couldn't get pre-approved, so.
Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. What did you learn through that consultation, though?
I guess just like you said, like practice. I just felt like it was good practice because I practiced a lot on my own. I practiced a lot with Taylor and Mark, and it was my first time doing it to a real actual person. But well.
Okay, it went well.
Yeah. I
Okay.
showed them a couple houses, and like they were working with Casey Cooper, and so like I knew to like make sure that they were pre-qualified first, but then it ended up that Casey couldn't pre-approve them like he thought.
So what did you learn from that process? So you had the consultation, you got them with Casey Cooper, you then started showing them homes, and then you found out they couldn't get approved. What'd you learn in that process?
Oh,
Come on, it's very simple, very clear, very, very clear. There should be something that you should have learned directly from that.
like to make sure they're pre-approved first. Is that what you want me to say?
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
were working with Casey, and so I knew it wasn't like a waste of my time. Casey thought, yeah, I can get this guy approved,
Mhm.
but then he's like, I'm not going to be able to.
Okay.
Credit's too low.
Okay. So what'd you learn from that
Like, I knew-
conversation?
Like I know, like that's the steps you're supposed to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what'd you learn from that conversation with Casey? Boy, I'm really drawing it out from her right now.
Like we already said, like make sure they're pre-approved first.
Yeah. Yeah, but here's what Casey says. Casey said, "Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I think we can make it happen." So you go out and you start showing them homes, and then some things then changed. So in this market, that's going to happen often. It just is. Everyone and their brother is going to try and apply for a mortgage. They're going to try and buy a home. Not always will that be the case. Not always will they be able to get approved or come up with the down payment for that. But something that you can do with that is, what did you do with that buyer once they found out they weren't approved?
Well, we're gonna keep dripping on them. Wait till they can get their credit up.
Yeah.
And then
So, but what did you specifically tell them?
Oh, I didn't tell them anything. Mark did. I don't know what Mark told them.
Oh, okay. So here's what that conversation could have and should have looked like is, hey, Mr. Buyer, I'm so grateful that you sat down with us and that you agreed to work with us and you trusted in us. Sounds like Casey said that we can't be approved at this point. Here's what we're going to do moving forward. These are the next steps. The next steps are going to be crucial. The next steps are going to be getting you from I can't get approved to, hey, we're ready. Whether that is 3 months, 6 months, a year down the road, we're here to make sure that you get a home at the right time. Today just isn't the right time. And that's okay, because there's the right house at the right time made specifically for you. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So no, those are things, those are key things that you should take away from that. That's good. You've set them up on drips. You've set them up for success, or Mark has set them up for success. I would encourage you to know those kinds of conversations with people. I'm supposed to ask you, what are the goals of buyer consultation appointments? What's the goal?
Sign the
Oh, hold on.
thing, right?
Amanda, I appreciate this. You're going to have to work with me on chat. I apologize. As their buyer's agent, she says, should we be talking to their buyer's lender directly? Absolutely. 100%. I want to have 5 conversations before we get approved with that lender. All the time. I'm talking to them directly all the time. If they have hired me, sorry? Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, she said that maybe even more than the client sometimes. I apologize. Everyone online can't hear you if we don't have a microphone. So we have a fun time. It's good. It's good. What's your name? Scarlett. I'm Austin. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And I'm sorry, what was your name? Savannah. Nice to meet you guys. Okay. Okay. So yes, we often talk to the lender. Very often. We want to make sure that that communication is clear. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth, if you will. I want to know from that person, we're good to go. And truthfully, I want them to work with one of my lenders so that I hear from my lender's mouth, hey, yeah, man, we're good. We're set. Or let's hold off for just a bit. Let's see where this goes. There's a couple things that could be dicey. Now, do you communicate that something could be dicey back to that buyer? Absolutely not. No. What we are communicating back to the client is we are communicating, we are going to be communicating that this is, I'm like ADHD, so this is going to be very interesting. Thank you, Kirk. We're going to be communicating that, hey, we're going to wait to make sure that everything is set on the lender's side. You know, we're not going to talk about issues. We're not going to talk about any of that stuff. I'm here to set clear expectations that I want you to win. That's what we're doing. Kirk says, shouldn't you get a clear picture of what they're looking for? 5 needs and 3 wants, right? Yeah, that'd be good. That's a good goal of a consultation. What else is a good goal, or what is the goal of a buyer consultation?
On the
Katie's crushing it. Yes. Yes. She said, isn't the end goal to get the client to sign with you? 100%. Absolutely. There's infinite numbers of goals inside of a consultation. You could tell me a plethora of things, and it can be right. It can absolutely be right. One of those goals should be that you need to set expectations. Expectations in this market are everything. People need to understand that it is not just price that wins a house. It's imperative that I, as your agent, teach you what terms make the difference. You know, I've had several sellers here lately who've had multiple offers on their properties, and we have not selected the highest. We haven't selected the highest that nets them the most money because of the terms in which they wrote in there. You know, when I've got a contract that is cash as is closing in 2 weeks, that's $2,500 less than the highest offer that is FHA or conventional, and they want inspections and they want repairs, and we're already $15,000 over asking price and there's no appraisal gap. Well, this is a no-brainer. Hello. As is, cash. We're going to close in 2 days or 2 weeks. Nicole online says, explaining to them the market too and the buying process with questions and answers. Yes, certainly. My consultation is in 4 parts. I want to get to know them. And I don't know if you guys hit my consultation class last month or whenever it was, but my consultation is 4 parts. I want to get to know them, and I want them to get to know me. That's 1 and 2. Why is that imperative in my consultation? Why is it important for me to hit those things first?
You want to build a relationship.
I want to build a relationship. By building a relationship, I'm building rapport. I'm also listening. I'm listening. So when I talk to them about who they are and what they like to do, my questions are this. Hey, Katie, it's nice to meet you. I'm super excited for you. What I want to do first is I want to get to know you. Just tell me a little bit about you. We'll talk about real estate here in a little bit. And if you start to go into real estate, I'm going to stop you. And I'm going to say, hold on, we'll get there, I promise. So what I'm going to ask you is what do you do for fun? What do you do for work? What do you do for, what's your weekends look like? If you get off work, what do? What's that look like? Do you sit at home? Do you like Netflix? Do you just read a book? I mean, who are you? Who are you? Because if you find out who they are, realistically, you're looking actually at what they're looking for, right? Yeah. So I'm asking those questions, and that's super important because we are people over business. If you look at Keller Williams as a whole, we are God, family, and then business. But inside of that, we are also people over business. My business is a mile deep and an inch wide. We aren't the biggest team. We aren't the highest producing team, but we have relationships with our clients. This is relationship building 101. That is all that we are set to do inside real estate. Because you really think about real estate compounds. From one person becomes 3. 3 becomes 5. 5 becomes 10, and so on. So does everyone understand that concept? Right? So I'm asking them in the process up front, who else do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? I'm asking that, hey, congratulations, you're under contract. By the way, who else do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Congratulations on your new home. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to see your memories on Facebook. I can't wait to celebrate that for you. By the way, who else do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? It's simple. It's compounding. And by that point, they've thought of somebody. And by that point, we are helping their friend or family, or, they're looking to buy another house. Very simple. Very simple. Okay, so I talked to them about who they are. And I'm going to get into this slide because I'm supposed to do this. Okay, setting the appointment. Participants, I'm supposed to remind you that an A buyer who's someone who is able, ready, and willing to purchase a home, they will be under contract in a matter of weeks. Does everyone know the difference between an A, a B, and a C buyer? And everybody said, yes. Okay, cool. I told you it'd be interactive. Okay. Yep. So an A buyer, someone who is ready, willing, and able, or in their terms, able, ready, and willing. Okay. They say that they'll be under contract in a matter of weeks. You could have written 7 offers and still not got them under contract in a matter of weeks in this market. It's a matter of expectations there. But that is someone who is ready to write an offer. B buyer. B buyer is someone who is, maybe ready and willing, but isn't able. They are 30, 60, 90 days out. A C buyer is someone who is 90 days plus in my books. They are not quite ready to, they have the willingness to be ready to buy a home, but they aren't able and they're not truly ready. They're willing, but they're not truly ready. Once you have an A buyer, it's time to close for that appointment. So you said you've closed. Who has gotten a buyer on their own and closed for a consultation? Just for the appointment itself. Talk to me. Tell me about it. How'd you get it? What'd you do? And what was the conversation like? Ooh, pause. Hold on. Lovely microphones.
So unlike most of the other women in the room, I've been at this for about 3 years now.
Just a hair.
So I have worked with a number of buyers. I was the buyer's agent on a team for a couple of years. So I was just looking, I keep a list on my phone of all my past clients. That helps me with my follow-up and things like that.
But you keep them somewhere else too, right? Amy?
Yeah, they're in my database.
Okay,
too.
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay,
But I
just
just
making
like
sure.
to
Just making sure.
have something quick to reference
love
if I
it.
want to send text or something.
I love it.
So I was looking to see where all of them came from, and they came from a variety of places. But I would say the one that came like the most out of the blue was not anyone I knew, was one that I got from an open house. So I met the gentleman at the open house and was able to get his contact information and arrange to send him some other listings. That was kind of how I got him on the hook. Hey, I know this house isn't for you, but I know some other houses in the neighborhood.
Hold on. That right there.
Uh-huh.
Hit that again. Say that one more time.
I know this house isn't for you, but there are some other homes that I know are listed in the neighborhood. Could I send those listings to you and maybe we can go see those this afternoon?
Pause. Does everyone know what that is? What she just did. Does anyone know what that's called? That's called setting a hook. That's called setting a hook. I know this isn't for you. You're identifying, hey, I understand this isn't for you. However, I have solutions for you. Absolutely. Okay, continue.
So that afternoon after the open house was over, there was another house just around the block that I met him and his wife. He was the only one that came to the open house, but he did bring his wife for us to view that home. And from there, we were able to schedule, because that also was not the house for them. But by that point, they both liked me and trusted me. And we were able to schedule an actual consultation. And so then later we had the consultation and they signed with me. And it took a really long time, but we found them a house. And we also listed their house. But in that case, at that time, I was not listing. So I turned that over to my teammate who was our listing specialist. And we were able to get that appointment as well.
Awesome. So how did the conversation look with you setting that appointment after you've already shown them, you showed them the open house, you showed them another house. How did that conversation look?
So I just, I explained to them that it was really important that even though I was kind of getting a feel for what they wanted, I really needed to sit down with them and go through the steps of figuring out exactly what they wanted, making sure that we had them hooked up with a good lender, and that there were just several things that we needed to have time to sit down and cover. And they were willing to do that. So we went to lunch and we had that consultation over lunch. And then I gave them a referral for a lender. And
You're saying you didn't have a consultation in the office and just met with them having lunch casually? That worked? What? Crazy.
I have never had a consultation with a client ever in the office.
Oh. So you're saying I don't have to be boring and just come here all the time? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. No, that's a perfect example. I appreciate that. Nicole online also said she also had someone that was from an open house. She wanted an agent to help her buy and sell her home. I don't know how you guys have done conversations online. So Nicole, can you unmute yourself? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay.
So let's talk about that. How did that go? Nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Austin.
Thanks. Yeah, that went pretty well. We just had an open house in May and had a lot of people come. So the next day I called and texted every single one of them just to thank them for coming and see if I could get any sort of conversation going.
So you
Most of them were
I'm
represented.
gonna pause real quick. So you were at an open
Yeah.
house. You're saying
Yeah.
you collected their information.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's that simple?
Yeah, we just had, when they showed up, we didn't really we weren't being pushy, but we just said, hi, would you mind signing in for us? And most of them were like, sure, they're just kind of used to that. And yeah, we
It's
were
that
able
simple.
to
I
call
love it.
them.
I love it. Okay, so continue.
And she was a really warm lead, honestly. She was one of our first clients to have. She was like, oh, I've been meaning to call you. I tried to work with another agent from a flat fee brokerage and they came to my house and never heard from them again. She has an older home in the country. She wants to sell as is. So, maybe I don't know, the other agent didn't think it was as profitable. But it's been really great for us. She's been wonderful to work with. She didn't need to sell first. So we bought first and got her moved into her new home. And now we're about to list her old one. And yeah, we met in coffee shops. We didn't meet at the office. We took her to lunch once and took her to coffee a couple times. And that's how we did things.
I love it. I love it. So tell me, you said that her previous agent experience may have put her off because of the small value of her home. Is that what she gathered?
That's the best I could gather. Yeah, I'm thinking it has to do with the small value of her home. It was an older home in the country that hasn't been listed on the MLS before. So gathering data for it, it takes a little more work. And I mean, I'm not really sure why the other agent didn't follow up with her, but it gave us an opportunity to.
I love it. Nicole, how much business is that going to turn into for you?
Oh, that's going to be 2 transactions. That's going to be a little under probably 300,000 in sales.
300,000
sales on the buy and sell side.
Sure, 300, but that's $300,000 in volume that someone passed up because they either didn't follow up or they didn't want to follow up. Nicole, that's incredible. I commend you for following up and getting the job done. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity.
Sorry, I think there's probably a delay here. I apologize if I cut you off. I tell my team often, every lead, every time, and it doesn't matter if it's $50,000 or if it's $1 million, every lead, every time, because that $50,000 buyer can turn into 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's the power of numbers. So Nicole, fantastic work. Way to get them under contract. And
yeah.
way to get that house listed. So, okay.
Thanks.
Let's move on. Set the appointment. So we talked about the goal of the consultation. They are telling us that the goal of the buyer consultation appointment is a signed buyer agreement. Setting the tone for closing for the buyer agreement begins with the invitation to meet for the consultation. Do you guys have your script book? You're supposed to turn to page 14. You come unprepared to my class? Okay. Yeah, Taylor, we'll have a conversation later. We'll have a conversation. Taylor's on my team. Taylor's on my team. Yeah. Okay, what is on page 14 in your script book? I don't know that it tells me. What do we got? Ask for the business. Can I steal that from you real quick? Let's just let's read through this. Yeah, right on. Yeah. Okay, ask for the business. The first paragraph talks about all I can ask in exchange for my superior customer service. By golly, I got superior customer service. That's right. And if you don't stand up and say superior, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. All I ask in exchange for my superior customer service promise is that you agree to work with me exclusively. Does that sound fair? And all my people said, yeah, absolutely. Okay. And the next part is, okay, we can sign and shake on that. Depending on COVID, if you want to shake on it, you just, you shake on it, you touch their feet, whatever you want to do there. Whatever you want to do there. Okay, so we talked about earlier that I've got 4 parts of my consultation. Getting to know them. I want them to get to know me. The third part is we're going to go over their wants and needs. And then the last part is we're going to talk about what it takes to hire me. We follow that process and we follow that model because it just continually allows us to win with our client. Okay. I don't follow slides very well, so just bear with me. Prepare the buyer presentation. Okay, well, we're gonna stop there. We're gonna talk about the buyer presentation. So when I told you about what I do in light of asking questions about them. I've asked them, what they do for fun, what their weekends look like, what their nights look like, what they work. Do they have animals? All of those things are going to come back here in a little while. When I talk about myself, I don't talk about myself very long. Who knows why? It ain't about me. It's about them. However, the things I need them to know are the things that are going to validate who I am. Right? So what I will go through is I'll just go through a little bit of who I am. So I was born and raised here in Springfield, been here my entire life, with the exception of about 4 years. I went to a private school here in Springfield called New Covenant Academy. I then went to College of the Ozarks. I made it as far as Branson and turned around. Yeah, I say that. I do. Taylor probably heard it. I got 2 degrees in business management and public relations. Basically, I took the long, hard route for a marketing degree. And here I am in a profession that doesn't require a degree. But I do know my stuff. Nicole Rice, you went to C of O too? What's up? Love it. Absolutely. Free education, can't beat it. Also, here in the Ozarks, that's a talking point. I don't know if you guys know that, but talking about C of O got me a lot of business as well. Oh my gosh, I can trust you. You went to C of O and you lasted all 4 years? 100%. That's me. Yeah, that's lying, and that's lying. Taylor said he's just going to say that from now on. That's called lying, and basically, you're not going to win clients lying to them. Okay, I'm going to tell them that I'm married and that I have 2 little boys that are 3 and almost 2. Crazy. My life is nuts. So if you call me at 8 o'clock at night, I'm probably not going to pick up. Putting them to bed, or I'm still working. One of those 2. But more than likely, I'm putting my boys to bed. That's important to me. I'm also going to tell them that I love to play golf. I invest in real estate personally, and I have a passion for real estate. Real estate is a high passion of mine. But what is more a passion than real estate for me? What drives me even more is helping people. Truly, people are my passion, and I tell them that. And I'm genuine and I'm sincere when I say that. It is my goal to be able to help you find the right home, the right price, at the right time. I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest ally. I will tell you no more in a house, then I will tell you yes. Does that mean it will take me a little longer to sell you a house? Potentially. Has it worked out in the past where I've showed one home and sold that home? 100%. Because we're about to talk about a lot of questions. However, it's imperative to me that we put you in the right house because I care about you as a person and not about you as a transaction. If you care about the person over the transaction, at that point, all they can do is say, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's all I say. That is, I mean, and I say it much quicker and much faster and, you know, but that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about who I am. Also, now we're going to move into part 3. Let's talk about what you're looking for, wants and needs. I think Kirk said 5 wants and 3 needs. I'm going to challenge you and say I want more than that. 5 needs and 3 wants. We're going to talk about all the needs and we're going to talk about all your wants. It was Jen Davis, I don't know, probably 6 years ago that I was just in one of her classes at the time. And she said, I'd rather ask you 100 questions today and show you one house that fits than show you 100 houses and only ask you one question today. Okay. So obviously there's a difference between needs and wants. Who knows the difference between needs and wants? Needs are must-haves. Yes, can't live without. What are wants? Very insightful. Very insightful. They're bonuses. They're bonuses. If it meets most of my needs and it has several of these wants, probably the house. It's probably something to consider. Don't mind me just running through what these are. Yeah, I'm not going to hit that. Okay. Okay. We're going to talk about, the needs are bedrooms, bathrooms, garage space, a location, and then lastly, price. These are our needs. They're needs because it's the bare bones of everything. Now, when you talk about square footage and you're talking to a first-time home buyer, they probably don't know what square footage looks like. So what are some ways that you can help overcome the answer of, I don't know? What are some ways in which you can overcome in the question of square footage when they respond to you and say, I don't know what I'm looking for? Sorry, that was probably worded poorly. Well, if they are in an apartment, they may not know the square footage. Yeah, so she said she doesn't know how to measure and generally relay that information. But it does go back to what they're in currently. They may not know what they have square footage wise, but they know what they have. They have 1 bedroom, they have 1 bathroom, they have a small kitchen. They don't even have space for a dining room or a table. They're in this, little bit of space here. Okay. Well, let's talk about what you have. What do you have inside of that? Because we got to make sure that all of those things fit. As an agent, as an agent who is producing yourself or projecting yourself to them as the expert, you should be able to help them identify what square footage should look like for the items that they have in the home. Question. Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes their apartment complex has it, sometimes their home has it somewhere, but not always. But not always. You know, the quicker and the easier way than trying to find out where they, you know, let's look up your apartment complex's website. Let's try and find, you know, is this yours? Okay, so you're in 615 square feet and you're cramped. Okay. Well, let's talk about what you want. You've already told me you want 3 bedrooms. You already told me that you want 1 bathroom. You've already told me that, you know, you want an attached garage, you want to be in a good area, and you have a growing family. Okay, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car garage. You're looking at a minimum of 1,000 square feet. 1,000 square feet is going to be tight. Tell me about your furniture. What do you have? Oh, I've got a 9-foot sectional. Okay, we're talking about something here. You got big furniture. Oh my gosh, I've got a king size bed. Well, we probably aren't going to fit in 1,000 square feet. So you know, you're talking to that first time home buyer, and they're like, well, let's do this. Let's just make it a minimum of 1,200 square feet. You know what? Let's call it 1,150. Your price point should dictate what you can afford, right? They've said, you know, I've got a budget of $175,000. I want something nice. Well, I'm probably going to bump them up to 1,400 square feet or 1,300, somewhere in there. All of those components are going to help you build your search. When we're talking about wants, it's important that you ask what they have. And I don't know how to make that more clear. Again, I'm asking a million questions, and they're like, why are you asking me how big my bed is? It makes no sense. I'm asking you that because I've been the buyer's agent who showed people 10 homes or 5 homes, and each one they've said no to, and I didn't ask why. The guy had a California king bed, and it didn't fit. Just not the house for me, man. Okay, we'll keep going. Been there. Showed a billion homes. You ask questions up front. Do you have any special pieces of furniture that need to fit in the home? Does everyone know what a German shrunk is? Generally, it comes in 3 or 4 different pieces, but all of those pieces put together generally come in to be about 12 feet wide and 9 feet high. Learned what that was real quick when they said, our shrunk won't fit in here. What's a shrunk? Oh, well, it's a entertainment. It's a entertainment. I don't know. It's lots of cabinets. That's the best way I can describe it. Lots of cabinets. You know, it's questions that you will learn along the way. But furniture is one of those things that you should ask. Another thing you should ask is, what kind of cars do you drive? Well, he drives a F-250 extended bed. Do you want that to be in the garage? Yes, has to be in the garage. It's my baby. Okay. We're talking about a different house. We're talking about a different house. We're talking about needs. When we talk about needs, we talk about bare bones. I need 3 bedrooms. I need to have 2 bathrooms. These are absolute musts. I need at least an attached garage. Need to have these things. I would love to have more, but I have to have these. Your needs list is everything that you are filling out in your MLS search. Does that make sense? Minimum 3 bathroom or 3 bedroom, minimum 2 bathroom, minimum of an attached garage in this area. At maximum this price. And then when we talk about price, we talk about How did you come up with that price point? How did you arrive that your price point is $175,000? Well, that's what Zillow said I could afford. Okay. Have you started the conversation with a loan officer? Nope. What's that? Been there, had that question. Oh, okay. I thought someone just gave me money. Me too. If they have had that conversation with a lender, my follow-up question is, great. So they've approved you for $175,000. Did you ask them what your rough payment would be? The payment is what they budget. The price is what they desire. On a monthly basis, you budget X amount of dollars to allocate towards mortgage and rent. You don't go, yeah, 175,000. No. Follow-up question to them, and it's fine if you haven't asked that, that's okay. But your follow-up question to them should be this. It should be, what's my monthly payment look like? And then tell them, hey, I don't want to spend monthly really more than $1,100. Okay, that gives us a baseline of a conversation to have. I now know that they want to have an $1,100 payment. I know that they, if they have spoken to a lender, that they are approved for $175,000. Now we've got to put the pieces together. How do we get them to have the most amount of purchasing power and keep them within their budget? Right? Everyone's budget is different. Everyone's threshold, their risk threshold is different. Where some people are willing to max out every month on mortgage payments, some people are ultra conservative. I want to be, I want to live. I don't want to be house poor. And I totally respect that. That's me. I'm as thrifty as they come. I can rub two pennies together better than anybody. So these are conversations that we're having. And then I'm finding out who their lender is. And I'm going to ask them, hey, did you have secondary conversations with any other lender? Because now is the time to shop with a lender. The time that you are not to shop with a lender is once we're under contract. Guess what? We're going to stay with the lender in which you have, and that I've submitted the contract to. Right here, right now is the time to shop for a lender. So if you've only had one conversation, it does not hurt you to go have another conversation with a lender, a different lender, just to make sure that you are getting the best terms and the best interest rate. That's important. What am I doing right there? What am I doing with that buyer? Providing solutions. I'm building a ton of trust. I'm building a ton of trust. Yeah, it's I'm the real estate expert. I am here to gain control of the conversation, and I'm here to point you in the right direction. Here's what I'm not doing. I'm not steering. I am not saying, no, you can't use that guy. You need to use this guy over here, and let me tell you why. That is not what I'm doing. What I am doing is I'm providing solutions, I'm building trust, and I'm showing them that I am truly an expert in the field. I'm not the best. I don't need to be the best. I don't care about that. I care about the person. I care about the person. That's right. Kirk says, taking care of the client. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking care of them. Because what have I not done to this point yet? What are the first 3 steps? First 3 steps are, Taylor, go. talk about them, talk about me. I haven't gone over agency once. But guess what's going to be really easy when I do? It's going to be really easy for them to say, yeah, I'm going to hire you. Absolutely. No questions asked. So let's talk about your friends. Let's talk about consultations with friends. So you've had how many friends by?
3.
Three
Sorry.
friends by, and you have not had a consultation with any of them?
Not like a formal consultation, just basically, what they want, beds, bath, square footage, if they know, things like that, but nothing formal, no.
Okay. So when you go over that part, are you also collecting agency at that appointment?
No, I have done it whenever I write the offer.
Okay.
That's not- yeah.
I've done that too.
Yeah.
I understand. However, I've also been burned by that multiple times by friends, by people I went to college with, like people I considered great friends of mine. Bought a house without me that I had been showing them homes. Yeah, dude, we're good. Man, we're buddy. Dude, I bought a house. What? Yeah, it was, I just called the agent off the sign and, she showed it to me and she said, yeah, we can make this work. And she wrote it up right there. Huh? Now, wait a second. I thought we were friends. Oh, well, I mean, I know you're showing me houses, but she was right there. I mean, she was around the corner and she could show me and she said, I'll write it up. It's not fun. Doesn't feel good. It's not gonna feel good. What were you gonna say? Do they need to be A buyers before you present agency? Uh-huh. No. Absolutely not. I mean, all of our agencies, I don't know if you guys have been over the agency contract. Have you guys been through the buyer's agency contract? Okay, and we'll get to that point. However, you can fill in the date in which it expires. You can fill it out. You can fill it out for a year. Hey, all I'm asking here is that I represent you. Is that if I'm going to be loyal to you and showing you homes over the course of the next 3 months, I want you to be loyal to me. That's all I'm asking. But this is a written documentation, and here's what this means. So, but going into friends, having consultations with friends, I still have consultations with friends. Here's what I cut out. They know who I am. I know some of the things that they do. However, here's what I include is I still want to get to know them past what I see them as my friend. I don't know what they do on a nightly basis. I don't always know. Unless it is my absolute best friend, I don't know what they do all the time. We just hang out sometimes. I make sure that I know what nightly routines look like. I know what weekends look like. I know what they want to go do for fun. What are some goals that they have? I want to know some of those things. I'm telling them that I'm taking my friend hat off and putting my real estate hat on. And that's important for them to know that I'm still your friend. However, I'm also a real estate expert and I need to know these things so that I can best serve you. And then when we talk about me, I don't talk about me as far as where I grew up and all of that stuff. What I do talk about is my team. I talk about, if you're on a team, I talk about the team. If you're not on a team, you talk about, what are some things that you've provided your clients? Or what are some things that you can provide? Aspire to, whatever that may be. Yeah, here's who I am. Here's who I am in business. You know me personally, but here's who I am in business. They need to know that, because otherwise they will run you ragged, because you've got to set those expectations. You know, because it's the friend who will call you at 9:30 at night. Dude, girl, I see that house. Can we see it at 8 a.m.? We'll figure it out. But you have to set expectations even more so with your friends than you do with clients or people you've not met. Set your boundary lines. Okay. Questions on part 3? Bring it.
The needs portion, what you've been talking about needs seems to be like stuff that is not, it's fixed. Can the need be, I have to have a fence? I have to have a walk-in shower? Is that truly a need, or do we, you know what I mean? If they tell me that's a need, that's a need. Yeah?
Why it's important to them. So if they have a dog, their beloved baby, they need that fence. They need it. If they have, you know, some kind of disability or they're elderly. Yeah. Yeah. So it's, yeah. So if it's a need for them, it's probably a need. Now there's some things that you may be able to determine, okay, that's probably not really a need, but you may have to get to know them more before that comes up.
So I guess we haven't really hit once. So before we move on, let's talk about once. When we go over once with people, we're talking about, you know, hey, what do you picture this home to be for you? What do you picture that to be? I picture it to be, you know, nice and pretty and white cabinets and upgraded this and a fenced yard and you know, a big master bathroom. These are all wants that we're talking about there. If they come to me and they say, I absolutely need a fence. At this point, I'm asking why. Tell me more. Be curious. Be curious in the conversation. In the consultation, if you aren't curious, you're not asking enough questions. Tell me more. So why is that a need? Well, I've got a dog. Okay, great. Tell me about your dog. Well, it's a, you know, 60-pound, you know, I don't know, blue heeler, and she can jump, you know, 5 foot tall over something. I need to have a privacy fence. Okay. Well, in that case, that's a need. However, let me ask you this. If we found you a house that made sense inside and it checked a lot of your boxes, but it didn't have a fence, would you consider it? Well, maybe. I don't know. I probably would. So if it was the right house at the right price, you'd consider it. Yes. Okay. So it's a want, a high desired want at that. Yes, that makes sense. Yes, that's a high desired want. You're right. Okay. When it comes to things like a walk-in shower or I need a tub, let's talk about that. Tell me more. Tell me why. Why is that a need for you to have? Well, I have to soak in the tub every other day because it's, because of therapy. Okay. Yeah. We got to have a tub. We got to have a tub somewhere. Does that tub have to be in the master bathroom for you? No, I just need a tub. Okay, awesome. Because when she said to me, I need a tub, my head went, I have to have a tub in the master. But I asked a question as far as does it need to be in the master bathroom? Just need to have a tub. Need to have a tub there. Perfect. Okay. I need to have a walk-in shower. Let's talk about that. Why do you need to have a walk-in shower? Well, I just really like to walk in it. I don't really want a tub shower combo. I don't want that. I want, so what you're telling me is you want it. I don't need it. I want it. Now, the difference between that and I physically cannot lift my legs over a tub, well, that's different. That is truly a need. But let me ask you, if we found the right house at the right price and we could convert that tub shower into a walk-in shower at a reasonable cost, is that something you'd be interested in? No. Nope. I need it in the home by the time I buy it. Okay. That's fine. I understand. Totally understand. I just need to ask that question because I've got to find my boundaries. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Amy. Is it okay if I pray for her right now? Is that cool? I'm gonna do that. Heavenly Father, God, we just come to you right now and pray for Amy's 2-year-old. God, we ask that you put her in your hands. God, we ask that you protect that child and you make sure that everything is a-okay. God, I pray that you pick her up, you pick Amy up, and you make sure that you know everything is okay. If they need to go to the hospital, Lord, I pray that you will just be with the doctors, continue to work miracles where miracles need to be had. Lord, it's in your name we pray. Amen. I hate that. I hate that so much. Okay. Here's the thing about real estate. I've already told you. Real estate is about people, not about business, not about transactions. It's about people. That's about people. So, Amy, if you're watching this later, you're in our thoughts, you're in our prayers. We're praying for your little baby. We hope everything's okay. Okay. Wants and needs. It's hard to transition back into that. What other questions do you guys have, including online about part 3 about wants and needs? And if I haven't hit something, please let me know because now I'm super distracted. Okay. All right. We're going to go to part 4 of my consultation. Part 4 of the consultation is asking for the business and what it takes to hire. What it takes to hire. This is a buyer folder. This is a buyer folder. This has all of my documentation. This has my client information sheet. This has my checklists. This has my business cards. This has the agency contract in itself. I bring this inside to my consultation. Bring it with me so that they can physically see it. You can buy these in bulk fairly reasonably. I would encourage you as agents to have folders like this. Okay? Did you have any more questions on part 3? Okay. What I was telling everybody is that this is my buyer folder. It has my checklists inside. This is everything that my team does behind the scenes that you can't see. But I want you to see that we are constantly at work for you. Here's my card. Here's my operations director's card. Here is Taylor on my team's card, T1. Taylor here is T2. We're going to go over your broker, the forms here. you guys have not been through them completely or a ton yet, correct? These forms, your actual agency documents. You have or have not been? Have, ish, have. Okay. Okay. Let me sit down and let me go through this. Create the presentation. I will be honest with you, my team is not quite in command. So when we talk about designs and presentations and creating these things, I apologize to you. I apologize. However, I'm unfortunately not the person to teach you command. But I have been through it enough to show you that if you Google it, or not Google it, if you search in designs, you can find buyer presentation layouts. There's tons of them, and you can create them. You can make your own. You can edit from someone else's. Let me see what we've got. I mean, it's it's what you make it. Do I or my team present a true presentation package to them or packet? No, we don't. Is that something I've tried in the past? Yes. It just didn't work for me personally. Here's the beauty of this. You run a business. You are a business owner, whether you are on a team or an individual. If you're on a team, you're running your own business inside of a business. If you're an individual, you are running a business for yourself. You can do what makes you feel most comfortable. So what this presentation is doing is what they're saying is that it helps connect with the buyer and build confidence in your value proposition, which is basically everything that we've just talked about. I just talk about it instead of handing them physically something. In this part, it's talking about their dream home. Personally, I don't use the phrase dream home. There's no such thing in my mind as a dream home. There is a next home that can be right. When you go build a home, it's still not 100% right, because in 2 months, you're going to find some quirks that you don't like. Even if you designed it yourself, there's going to be something you just don't like. There's no such thing as 100% home. However, if we can get to 80, 85, or 90%, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Let's this is talking about, establishing standards and building your preference profile. And this is where I'm just going to start reading through some of these slides. So this is where it gets a little long. I believe this is turn to page 8 in the participant guide and review the questions on this page. It's have you considered who will be my main contact, or what my main contact will be? What timeline would you like to strive for? Have you looked into getting pre-approved? I mean, these are all of the questions in which we've already basically hit. But if you want them physically in front of you so that you can internalize them, this is where you will go. If I found a home today that checked all your boxes, could you see yourself making a move sooner rather than later? The lady that was in the back, I can't remember her name. Savannah? No, that's you. Scarlett. Yeah, Scarlett was in the back, and she said, if they're, 90 days out, do I still get something signed? Yes, because what could potentially happen is their time frame could get accelerated. That's why we get them. That's why we get them signed. The wish list. This is the section to ask the buyers about their ideal home. You should go in there and customize these questions if you want to use this template. What are non-negotiables? These are the needs. Beyond your top 5 needs, what is something that you really want? You have a preference for the year the house was built. I want it to be newer. Okay. Would you be open to a house that was built in 1960 that has been completely renovated? Yes. So year to date doesn't truly matter to you. What matters is the finishes on the inside. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. Neighborhood insights. Neighborhood insights. You guys can go on Kelly and your app and look at insights as far as what's in the area, what the average listing price is. I don't know if they've updated that portion as far as what sales prices have gone in. Are you guys using that tool? You're using it?
Yeah, my question is, how do I have neighborhood insights when I'm now having the conversation of who they are?
That's a great question.
This kind of happened with the listing yesterday too. It kind of crossed paths. Like we jumped from one section to another and that's a little confusing.
Yep. So I think what this is more so meant to be is to point them to your app more than anything. Because I believe
Like give them an example of what I can do, maybe?
more or less showing them a snapshot
Uh-huh.
and then saying, here, this is what this looks like.
Because I don't necessarily know that they want to live in Quail Creek, but I can show you what I can do for Quail Creek, and I can do that for Somerset, and
Yeah.
I can do that
or anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I can create that for them at any point in time. So more of an informational of that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. I think, again, this is more so designed so that they will go use your app.
Okay.
Says that the neighborhood insights page is to provide information to the buyer and demonstrate your knowledge and expertise. It positions you as the local expert.
Thanks for reading that. They didn't read that the other day.
Hey, my pleasure. If there's one thing I can do, I
'Cause
can
was
at
like,
least
I
read.
don't know this yet because I'm still learning about them. So
Yeah.
I don't have this information.
Yep. Just snapshots of things. How buying a home works. This is good. I like this. This is good, and this is probably something that my team should integrate. Partnering with an agent. Before I get into that, it's a buyer who knows what to expect is a confident buyer. So again, if we're setting expectations, they know what to expect. A confident buyer is easier to work with than an anxious buyer. Holy smokes. Preaching to the choir, 100%. An anxious buyer is going to provide you objections every step of the way. Sometimes they can still be anxious. However, because you have spoken to them through the consultation, you know what to expect. So they set the expectation back, or they didn't necessarily set the expectation back to you, but you understood their expectation because you know that person's DISC almost. Do you guys know what DISC is? DISC? That's the personality traits. The person that's going to be asking you questions a ton is like the SC personality, or be skeptical and not like change and have some concerns as to what this new house may have. I will tell you, I've got a client who we wrote multiple offers that I never sent. I knew going into that with this client that they are very much a client who needs to understand each and every intricate detail of the disclosures and of the home. There was a house that the last one, before we finally went under contract, the last one was, the home was 19 years old. It was in Nixa. Perfect home for them. However, it did not have a water softener. And in his mind, by not having a water softener for 19 years, something was going to go wrong with the plumbing. And I will tell you, even if I showed them some way or had them meet with a plumber, I'm not going to change their mind that there is going to be a problem in the future with their plumbing because, you know, they didn't have a water softener for 19 years. Even if you were to go add it in now, it in their minds, there's a problem. Sometimes you have to roll with the punches because today they are under contract on a home that fits them, that is newer, and has a water softener. Where'd you think I went first in that house? I'm gonna go find a water softener. I'm gonna go find a water softener. But not everything can be, you know, not every person's mind can be changed. That's also important to know. And that's okay, because I care about the person themselves more than the transaction. Do I get frustrated in it? Sure. But we're going to have a legitimate conversation about that. And we did. And here we are today under contract. Okay. How buying a home works. These 4 steps: you partner with an agent, you get pre-approved for a loan, you find a new home, you make your offer and negotiate the terms. Is there another one? Okay. Okay, partnering with an agent. I'm not, for the most part, going to let them leave without me talking about hiring me and going over agency. Because, again, my first 3 things are to get to know them, for them to get to know me. We now know each other. We're acquaintances. Then we're going to talk about their wants and needs, and I've listened. And what I've done in that wants and needs is I've also brought up, and I apologize, I'm backtracking. I have also brought up, hey, I know you said that you like to have friends over on the weekends. So sounds like entertaining inside and outside is important to you. Isn't that right? So we need to make sure that we've got a living space that fits that lifestyle. Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm validating that I've listened. Validating. Okay, affiliated business arrangement disclosure. That's for Keller Mortgage. If you use Keller Mortgage, you will need to have something like this signed by them because we have an affiliation to Keller Mortgage. That makes sense. So who's heard of Keller Mortgage? Everyone heard of Keller Mortgage? Has anyone used Keller Mortgage?
I actually almost did when I bought my house.
Huh. What changed your mind?
Well, actually, my realtor sent me to another one as well and checking both of them. And I liked the service at the end. It was good, but it was like almost, it disappeared for a second for some reason.
Yeah. You know, there are banks for different people. There are different people for different banks. There's no right bank for somebody. Now there are perks to using Keller Mortgage. You know, discounted closing costs, pretty good interest rates. There are some perks, but there's also benefits in using local people here. If you've not talked to anyone at Keller Mortgage, I would encourage you to at least go have an open conversation with them to find out what they are about, because that doesn't hurt anybody. Okay. Best real value or value real wow. Real value, real experience.
days.
So if you use this, here's what I would tell you to do. We
Brag on me, not we.
over I. We over I. However, what you also do in this scenario, in this page, is you will go over who you are, what you're about. I'm the CEO and founder of me. You know, the win-win, the integrity, the customers, the commitment, the communication, creativity, teamwork, trust, and success. Those are our core. That's Keller Williams' core. This is the value proposition is what they're calling it. My value proposition comes before we talk about real estate. That's why things are different. Okay. Conduct the buyer consultation. Prior to meeting with a buyer, you should print a color copy of the customized buyer presentation to give to the buyer. You should have a system for taking notes on the buyer's answers to the questions in the buyer presentation. Guys, how I take notes on consultations. Right here. My iPad, got my little pencil, I'm taking notes, or I'm typing it. One of those two ways. I'm not writing it on paper because I will lose paper in a heartbeat. If you ever walk in my office, my team makes fun of my desk because it is real messy. Don't smile at me like that. Oh, no, it's really not great. It's really not great. I am too cool for paper. 100% too cool for paper. But this allows me, I will never lose this. I will lose paper. I know that I won't lose this $1,300 piece of machine. But also if I do lose it, it's in the cloud. I won't lose it. I won't lose it. Okay. So last point of my consultation, what I want to go over is the actual documents themselves. Okay. What I'm talking about is the Missouri broker disclosure form. When I'm talking about the Missouri broker disclosure form, I'm physically turning it around and pointing it to them so that they can see it. And what I am saying is this is the Missouri broker disclosure form. By Missouri state law, I have to provide you all of the available choices as far as agency goes. In this case, I will be your buyer's limited agent. I could be your disclosed dual agent, and I will be your designated agent. And then I'll explain what those things are in the next document. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole document itself. But my point to this is I don't necessarily have to read it. I can turn it around, grab my pencil, and point and say what each point of this is. Until you can do that, you need to continue to read through it. If you can't read it upside down or know your bullet points, you need to go through it again. I have won a lot of business because I know my contract. I am showing them that now I am not just a real estate expert, but now I am a contract expert. I can run through this and tell you bullet points to each of the sections and what subsections mean. Do people have questions on that? Did you have a question? Oh, okay. So I would encourage you, please go through it. Go through it and know your contract. Not only know your agency contract, but know your physical contract, because it's not always that you are going to be with the buyer when you are writing the offer. But if they have a question on something, you need to be able to answer it. And if you send this with them, then they haven't signed it, and then they come back to you with a question, you need to know it. But I want you to know this as well. It is okay to say, I don't know. It's okay to say, I don't know. Because the follow-up to that is, I don't know, but I'll find out and I'll let you know. Here's what's incredibly important to that is if you say, I don't know, and you don't follow up, you'll never get the trust. But I have won a ton of business by telling people, especially early on in my career, I don't know. I have no idea. But I will ask, I will collect different answers, and I'll come back to you with some solutions to your question. That's important. Welcoming the buyer to the presentation. Effective delivery of the buyer presentation begins with welcoming the buyer and setting the expectations for the appointment. So when we initially sit down, my first statement is, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you guys coming in. Here's what we're going to go over. We're going to go over 4 things. I'm going to go over what I want to get to know you. I want you to get to know me. We're going to talk about real estate, and then we're going to talk about what it takes to hire me. Set the expectation up front. I have now taken control of the conversation, because as a buyer comes into you guys in the initial consultation, they're primed, ready to go to tell you, I want a house. Here's what I want. I want it now. Okay, that's cool. We'll get there. I want to slow down. I want to get to know you. It says that we're supposed to role play that. You guys can role play that if you want. Do we want to role play? Yes or no? Yeah? Okay. We got 5 minutes. Everybody role play. I was not expecting yes. Okay. Nope, I already asked and Katie said yes.
Why don't you be the
Sure, we can do that. How do we want to set that up? How do we want to do that? Who wants to be my buyer? Okay.
Oh, see, now he's ready.
Yeah. Oh, Taylor, you want to role play?
Oh, here.
I'm ready.
Okay. And remember, this is just 5 minutes.
Okay.
Taylor, thanks for coming in, man. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Hey, I appreciate this. I just want to let you know, here's what we're going to go over. We're going to go over a few different things. Number one, I want to get to know you. I want you to get to know me. We're going to talk about real estate, and then we're going to talk about what it takes to hire me. Does that sound fair?
Sure.
Okay, so here's why it's important that we follow that process. If you don't know me and I don't know you, it makes it really hard for us to do business together. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, don't be a cocky, arrogant son of a
Nah,
gun.
dude. I just want to talk about a house.
Okay. Okay. So tell me about you, Taylor. Who are you?
Well, I like to, walk my dog a lot and work out and play some golf too.
Right on.
That's really just it.
That's it?
Yep.
Awesome. So what do you do for a living?
It's funny. I'm actually an insurance agent.
You're an insurance? Awesome. What kind of insurance?
Life, health, and supplemental.
Awesome. My dad sold life and health for 30 years here in Springfield. What company are you with?
I'm with Liberty National.
Liberty National.
Mhm.
I don't know that I've heard them. Where are they at?
In Ozark.
In Ozark. Cool.
Yep.
Right on. How long have you been with them?
6 months.
6 months?
Yep.
Nice. Things going well?
Yeah.
Awesome. Right on. So with Liberty National, are you a contract employee? Are you, how does that work for you?
Well, I'm 1099. Is that what you're asking? Like,
Yeah.
just 100% commission. Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Okay, so 6 months.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Right on. So you've got a dog, you like to play golf. I love golf. That's my jam. Well, I'll definitely have to go play 100%. Tell me, you get off work, what's a night look like for you?
Well, I typically try to go work out, and then I make myself dinner, and then I go to bed. That's it.
Sounds invigorating.
I know.
I love it. I love it. That's good. That's good. And truly, this is Taylor's every night.
I'm serious. I'm a really boring person.
This is it. This is it.
I do have a
Yeah.
girlfriend, but I'm
Yeah.
still looking. I'm just
Oh
kidding.
my
I'm
gosh.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So, tell me, where'd you grow up? Where'd you come from?
I grew up here in Springfield. Went to Rogersville High Schools. So I've been here my whole life.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. What brought you in today?
I want a house, dude. I already told you that.
Yeah, right on. But why?
I don't want to live with my parents anymore.
Fair enough.
I hate my parents.
Oh,
They're awful.
okay.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna tell him. Yeah, actually, this is recorded, so I'll just give him the recording. Okay. Right on. So you're ready to step out and do your own thing.
Right.
That's awesome. That's exciting. Tell me about your dog. What kind of dog do you have?
He's a standard poodle.
Hmm.
Big boy.
It's a big dog.
Yep.
That's a big dog. Now, my question to you is, do you get him groomed with the fluffy head and the fluffy
No.
tail?
He doesn't look like an idiot. He looks like
Oh.
a teddy bear.
Look, just a big teddy bear?
Yep.
Awesome. I love it, man. That's so great. That's so good. What else do I need to know about you?
I told you, man, I'm not an interesting guy, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, other than golf, do you play any other sports?
I mean, I played basketball. I was
Okay.
really good at that.
So, I mean, you've got some interesting facts to you.
Kinda.
You're not an interesting guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Very good. Well, let me tell you a little bit about me, and I'll make it quick, right?
Please
Here it
do.
is. I was born and raised here in Springfield. Went to New Covenant Academy for 13 years. Yes, I am that private school kid. Yep. There is that chip on my shoulder. I understand. It's fine. You'll get it later. You'll understand. Then I went to C of O, College of the Ozarks, another private school. Yep. Private school through and through. It's fine. I understand. I got 2 degrees, one in business management and one in public relations. And I'm not kidding when I say I took the hard route to get a marketing degree. Why I did that way beats me. That's what my advisor said to do. And I said, okay, cool. I met my wife in college. She didn't go to C of O. We got set up on a blind date. And long story short, she finally agreed to marry me. We've got two little boys. They're awesome. They're 3 and almost 2. They are growing like crazy, and they are hilarious little boys. So if you ever catch me at night and I don't pick up, or I don't have, if you hear screaming in the background, that's what's going on. But just know that my family comes first. I just want you to know that that's who I am. My family comes before my business, and I've got to set that time aside for them. Not saying that I'm not setting time aside for you, but I just want you to know that my family is very important to me. Yeah. I've been in real estate for 6.5 years. I've got a team of 11, and we have fun.
Who's your favorite team member?
Me, myself, and I. No, I don't have a favorite. They're all my favorites.
Say it. It's okay.
Taylor. Patrick. No, we have fun, but we also do business, and there's a difference. And there's a time to have fun, and there's a time to put our business hat on. And when we're looking at homes, we'll have both, and that's who we are. From today through closing, you're gonna get a lot of communication, not just from me, but from my staff and my other agents as well, so that when you come and hire me today, you're going to have all of those people at your disposal. So when you're hiring myself, it's not just about me, but you're hiring my entire team behind you. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Any questions about me? Anything you want to know?
Nope.
Awesome. Okay. And then we go into wants and needs, and we've hit that, and I'm not going to be a dead horse. So how'd that go? What'd you guys think? Other than the banter that he and I had. Huh? I didn't go over the agency. Well, this is it told me to go over the welcoming. The welcoming. That's what it told me to go over. Let me see if I've got this.
You didn't see it, Katie. It's in big letters on both.
Okay, here we go. Buyer representation agreement. Does everyone are we good? Is everyone doing okay? Do we need a break? Are we okay? We're good? We're great? You ready to blaze a trail? Ready to blaze. All right, let's go. Okay. Online, everyone. Is everyone still with me? Oh crap, what'd I do? Cool. Awesome. Thanks for being with us, guys. Miss you here. Miss you here. It's because I'm teaching. I'm going to go ahead and blame myself. It's fine. Okay. All right. So buyer representation agreements. So we went through Missouri broker disclosure forms. Did anyone have any questions on this? No. Okay, cool. Yes. Still here listening. Thanks, Nicole. Appreciate it. Okay.
I have a question actually, not
Yeah.
on that form, but
Sure.
on your welcoming. So have you ever had someone like be mad that you're not taking a call at like 9:30 at night? Or, I mean, I know you said that expectation, but do you have like, ask it? Yeah, or people who try to kind of abuse that maybe?
Sure. Sometimes.
How do you deal with that?
Sometimes I just take a phone call. Yeah, because I'd rather take the 5 to 10 minute phone call and diffuse the situation at 10 o'clock at night than let them stew on it overnight and then me get a really nasty phone call in the morning.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm looking for at all.
Right.
So I try and respect that as much as I can on my personal time. However, in this market, my wife also knows. I just have to do that. If you are married or in a serious relationship and your partner or spouse is not bought into this business, I would tell you to have a serious conversation with them about it, because this is a taxing business. There are going to be times where you disappoint your spouse or your partner. There is going to be times where you disappoint your friends. There's going to be times where you disappoint people because you're trying to grow in this business. That's just the nitty-gritty of it, and it's the unfortunate facts. However, the people that are truly there for you will understand. They will understand that this business means something to you. There's a reason you got into this business. There is a reason that you are sitting down at 9:30 at night at your kitchen table having a phone conversation with a buyer who is frustrated that they've just lost out on their 6th offer. Biggest piece of advice in this business that I can give you: make time for others in your life. What I mean by that is I set appointments, and I call them appointments, for my wife. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. And I wholeheartedly believe that. So you will see on my calendar, date night. And if someone tries to interrupt that, hey, I'm sorry, I'm in an appointment. Can I call you later? Boundaries. but I have to give my wife or my boys that attention. Otherwise, our relationship will never work, or I will fail in business. And I'll tell you, my relationship will probably fail at that if I don't do that because of who I am. I'm a driver. I'm going to go get business. I'll let other things slip first. So it's imperative to me that I have those times blocked. Nope, blocked. Doesn't even have to say date night. Doesn't have to say time with the boys. It just says blocked. And you know what? If that person is sitting on the other side of the restaurant calling me and I text them I'm in an appointment and they say, I see that you're at dinner, I'm going to say, you're right. I am. I'm with my wife spending quality time with her. And if you have a problem with that, then I don't need you in my life. You know, there is a time to pass and there's a time to continue a relationship. Does that answer your question? Okay. Everyone wants to talk about me. I'm kidding. The question was, have I ever had someone that doesn't want to talk about them or me? Follow the process. Not really. It may be short, and that's fine. But I always hit something because it's important that they know that I am asking those questions, even if they feel like this is unneeded or unwarranted here. It's important. Can you hear me now? Perfect. Hey, that was quick too. Look at that. Okay. What was the question? Remind me of the question. Talk to the mic. Talk to the mic for me.
Okay, well, I was just saying, so remember in the beginning, I was like, I've had one buyer's consultation.
You lied to me is what you
I
said.
did. I've actually had two, but like right away, he was like, I'm not signing anything. And I was like, okay, it's fine. And it like, so I didn't like go on what I planned out to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering.
So what'd you do?
Well, it was kind of a weird situation. It was just like a dude that messaged me on Facebook and Mark said, don't you meet this man anywhere but the office? And I said, yeah. And so he came into the office and it turned out that he owns like tons of investment properties and he just wanted to buy another one. So he literally just wanted to sit down and look at the MLS with me and like pick out, let's look at this, 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 and that. So I was like, okay, let's go. And we went and looked at a whole bunch of houses.
Did you sell him a house?
He did. He's under contract.
So you got him to sign something.
I mean, we're under contract. He never signed anything really except a contract.
So he didn't sign representation agreement with you.
He did not. Mm-mm.
How do you have him under contract?
Well, we have a contract and he signed it, but it's not like I'm his buyer, right?
You don't represent him.
Like, I don't understand.
So you wouldn't technically.
No, I mean, you,
Yeah, it's on the contract, 3%. And he signed that.
but you don't have representation. You don't have any sort of representation agreement with him.
It says Katie Pittman for Mark Stewart, his name, blah, blah, blah. So that is a contract.
I understand that.
I'm just really confused.
Do you have an exclusive agency contract with him?
He said he wouldn't sign it.
You don't represent him.
Okay, but let me back up a little bit more because my very first client I ever put under contract, I didn't go through this process with them either. I met them at an open house.
Uh-huh.
They wanted to make an offer on the house.
Uh-huh.
It had already been under contract.
Huh?
And then I said, sorry, that house is now like under contract, but let's find you a different house, you know?
Mm.
And so I never brought them into the office. They never signed anything. And we eventually did find them a house and they closed on it, but I never had them sign anything like that either. I did get paid.
Like for compliance, did you submit?
Yeah.
I feel for compliance, don't they have?
You have to have that signed.
Did have
It's not even compliance, that's state law.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure, well, I feel like I'm in a different situation because I'm not just like by myself. Like Mark knows how everything works.
Then surely someone somewhere signed something about a representation agreement. There's got to be something because you as an agent cannot go send a contract out for somebody and not represent them and then get paid because you don't represent anyone in that contract.
But
Yeah.
even like my parents just bought me a house. They didn't sign any of that type of stuff. I got paid when that house closed.
I'm going to say Mark's office probably did that then. I hope to.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. Let's say your person comes in and they say automatically like, yo, I'm not going to sign anything with you, but you still will show them houses and do all that stuff for them.
Mm,
You will not.
no.
But that would have, what if they eventually, because I know we've had the same situation where she is still showing people houses because he's like, I'm just going to go with whoever finds me the house, you know? So
So in your consults,
well,
oh, you just had one.
yeah, they signed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. hmm
I was gonna say,
Like that one that we did together, like
Yeah.
they signed, but it turned out that they couldn't get pre-approved. So
Okay, so let's backtrack. Let's go to this. Someone comes in, says, I'm not signing, or they say, whoever finds me a house. Okay. There's a couple different things that I've done in the past that will work or have worked. Okay. In the event that you want me to show you any home, I have to have something signed from you. Otherwise, I represent the seller. State of Missouri says, if we don't have anything signed between us, I'm a sub-agent of the seller. I don't represent you. I can only tell you so much. If you want me to tell you things, this needs to be signed. Now, here's the thing. In the event that you don't want to sign it, I'm not going to show you anything. My time is too valuable. I will, there are times where I will show someone one or two homes, then I'm going to get that signed. But if I'm sitting down in front of them having a consultation, I'm either leaving with that signed and they're my client, or I'm leaving with that in their hands to review and they're going to sign it, or they're not signing it and I'm not going to work with them. Sure.
But, you know, I don't have more time anymore.
Mm-mm.
They tell you that they are coming to town because they wanted you to like.
Well, they're like, just in case, they texted and said, Shad's gonna show us some homes tomorrow, but I don't know what they are. We'll call you if we need you. And I said, okay, good luck.
Yeah. So that's a tire kicker. Tire kicker. Yeah, they're there to shop. They may buy, but they're going to buy on their own terms.
And they have to buy because their house their house is done on the 4th.
You know, if you can't present them enough
Right.
value
Yeah.
in which they want to sign with you, go spend your time elsewhere.
Yep.
Go spend your time elsewhere. But I've used that. I've also said, how about this? How about you sign it? You hold on to it. And at the end of our showings today, if you give it back to me, we move forward. If not, you can rip it up and we'll be done. But I'll show you three homes. And if at the end of those 3 homes you don't like it, if you don't like how I'm working for you, then we go about our day. I've done that before. Sign calls and, internet leads or whatever it comes in. Yes, of course I'm going to go show a house to someone like that. However, it's my objective to get them to meet with me and to get agency signed. But again, following my process, the 4-step process, getting to know them to get to know me, talking about real estate, and then talking about what it takes to hire me. Rarely at that point do they say, nope. Okay. Go ahead.
Have they ever, like you have it signed, but they didn't use you anyway? Let me give an example. So the buyer was a friend or acquaintance that I was working with. I showed him a few two houses, I think. And he, like, if I had signed it with him, let's just say I had, but I didn't. That's obviously, but sorry, I'm getting off track. Yeah, I showed him a couple houses. He ended up going to a house, and the seller was also an agent. The agent told him that she would only consider offers that she was representing. So say I had signed it with them, but he ended up going with her for that reason. Have you ever had that happen where you signed with them and then they ended up going with whatever reason?
Okay, so to clarify, you showed them a house that an agent owned.
I didn't show this house. He had called her for some reason. I guess he saw it online or something. I don't know if it was on Facebook.
And
maybe.
and was this a house that was listed on the MLS? And she told him that I will only look at offers that I represent.
Correct.
That's a huge ethics violation.
Okay, I thought so, but I didn't want to I was new and I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a no-no. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that. No. Any and all offers have to be presented. And if they were signed with you and she then told them, I'm only going to work with people that I represent, that's a separate ethics violation. We're talking like, hey, you're going to get your license suspended here. That's a big deal. But they weren't signed with you at that point. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, but the gumption of that person to say that is incredible.
I think there's a crime in there too.
Yeah,
Not just an ethics violation. I think there's a
yeah,
crime in there.
probably. I don't know what it would be, but
I don't know if it's extortion or there's something.
there's got to be something. But it's a no-no.
Yeah.
It's a no-no. And if that had been reported, if they had told you, if someone had then told me that,
Right.
I'd ask who that person is, and then I'd be calling Jim, the broker, Jim Bolin, and saying, hey, this is the situation. This was what was told to my client or my prospective client that I have been showing homes to. What he will say is, you don't represent them. She can do, she can do what she wants at that point. However, what she can't say to somebody is, I'm only going to accept an offer in which I write. Yeah, you can't do that. And so then we would have a conversation. Does everyone
Yeah.
understand how that is a problem? Yeah. Real estate agents already have a bad rap. That makes it worse. People make it worse. Okay. Buyer's exclusive agency contract. What time is it? 11:30. What else do we have? I don't care about that. No. No. Huh?
I'm gonna ask Mark when I go back upstairs.
Do we?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Okay, let's do this. Buyer's exclusive agency contract. This is a form that, like I've said, you need to get real familiar with. Otherwise, you'll never get one signed. Because if someone asks you a question and you're stumbling around, it's just not going to go well. I don't know how to best go over this with you guys. That's what I'm wondering. But I don't know. Online, what are you guys seeing? What do you guys see? Anybody? The presentation and the room. So you guys see the screen? Okay. How does this thing work? I'm gonna put the mic down.
Now they may not be able to see it though. Ask them what they see now.
Can you still see that?
Oh, okay, good. Oh, you did? Did you see his cap? Did you see his cap story? It was like, oh, you did? It was like the best running man, like. It was so good. So I emailed him and I said, hey, Captain. It's really cute. He's so funny.
We autofilled Beth Buyer. Okay. We've gone over this, but again, what I will say, and this is verbatim, it's ingrained in my head. This is the Missouri Broker Disclosure Form. By Missouri state law, I have to provide you all of the available choices as far as agency goes. In this case, I will be your buyer's limited agent. I could be your disclosed dual agent, and certainly I will be your designated agent. And you're asking yourself, what does that mean? And I'm going to go over that in the next document. The next document is called the buyer's, oh my gosh. Buyer's exclusive agency contract. Okay, we will write your name in at the top. What this document is going to do is this is what hires Keller Williams to work on your behalf. We will take a 6-month contract. So whatever 180 days from today is, I think that's, what is that? Oh my gosh, I think that's January 16th, 2022. So we'll write that in there. Motivating factors. I've checked the box does. That just says that you allow me to disclose that you are buying a property. Fair? Current exclusive representation agreement states that you are not currently part of an exclusive agency relationship. Correct? Great. I already pre-filled it. See you later. Unless they've, unless they're trying to get out of that to start working with you on their behalf. What the question was unless they say, yes, we are in it. And then we say, see you later. If they come to us and they say, I do not want to work with my agent anymore, I want to work with you, you can then sit down with them. You, however, cannot approach them and say, hey, you should leave your agent and work with me. Before you can move forward. And in that instance, then you will check yes, and that it ends on the date in which they terminate. Best choice is we are not currently in a representation agreement. Realtor compensation. Our team charges a we call a compliance fee of $247. That's the transaction fee that is due only at closing. So when I talk about this, I talk about, hey, there's 2 fees that you need to be aware of. Number 1 is $247, and number 2 is 3%. $247 is the only fee that we will charge you at closing. Caveat is most times I can get the seller to pay for that, depending on the offer in which we write. If we don't make it to closing, you don't owe us that $247. The 3% is written in there because we, as your buyer's agents, are going to be collecting a 3% fee. What this states is that in the event that the seller is only willing to pay 1 or 2%, I could ask you for the difference. The reality of it is I've got to ask you for that. I'm probably not going to do that. But my broker requires that to be in there. What this paragraph is also going to be talking about is for sale by owners. I can show you anything. Most for sale by owners are willing to work with a buyer's agent. In the event that they are, they're willing to pay a 3% commission and work with us because we are pre-qualified. I bring all of the legal documents and it's a smooth process for them. They know that we're legit. If they are not willing to work with a buyer's agent and you are saying, this is absolutely the house for me, I must have it, then I will release myself. Or you and I can work a compensation agreement out. Okay? Now, not always, but sometimes, in the event that they are not willing to pay a 3% commission, they're probably not going to negotiate. They also probably are overpriced, and they are probably trying to take advantage. Not always, but most times. I just want to be very clear and candid here. Just be aware of that. In the event that they don't want to work with someone paying 3%, just know they're probably not going to negotiate with you. But again, if it's a house that you absolutely want and you absolutely need, I am going to be the last person to stand in your way getting the right house for you. Because again, guys, I'm about the person, not the transaction. I have had referrals from people I did not close on because I released myself. Protection period of 30 days. That states that in the event that you fire me, this contract terminates, or we, just dissolve the relationship. At that point, I am protected on any home that I have showed you for 30 days, meaning you can't go make an offer without me for 30 days. The 31st day you can, though. It's all yours. Basically, it's a swoop and swap. I show you a house, you love it, you fire me, I got to be involved in that house and negotiations on that because I'm called procuring cause at that. Does that make sense? Great. Non-performance or termination. Guys, you can fire me at any point. I can release myself at any point. Buyer's limited agency as starting point. Today is our starting point. If you sign this today, our agency relationship starts today. I am here to represent you starting today. B, conversion to dual agency. Dual agency is this. It states that in the state of Missouri, as long as both buyer and seller both agree that I can represent you and the seller, we can move forward, or my team. Here's what that means for you. It has to be a win-win situation. What I will not be doing in that is I will not do this. I will not go to the seller, say, here is our offer, but here is what they are willing to pay. I won't do that. I cannot do that. I'm bound in this contract to not do that. On the flip side, I'm not going to come to you and say, here's the seller's financial status. They will take an offer down here. I'm not going to do that. It has to be a win for you and a win for them. And if we come together, great. If we don't, we move forward elsewhere. And that's fine. A buyer will buy where they want to buy, and a seller will sell where they want to sell. And if those two things meet and match, we move forward. If not, we go on down the road. Do you guys have questions on that? Okay. Designated agent. This document, again, is hiring Keller Williams. Designated agent is what designates myself and my team to work for you for Keller Williams. So not anyone at Keller Williams can work for you, just my team and I. Now, D and E, those are two things that I do not practice. It's called transaction brokerage. That's not something I practice, and here's why. That basically says, sign here, good luck, you're on your own, and at closing, I get paid. I don't get to advise, and I don't get to counsel you. My job is to advise and counsel you. So that's why I'm not okay with that. So that's why you'll see I've marked the box no on both of those. Now, this paragraph is probably my favorite paragraph, and this is what I'll tell them. This is my favorite paragraph that's just been added. This is the buyer's obligations to realtor. This is your obligations to me. Exclusive dealings. By signing this, you agree to exclusively work with me and my team. Number 2, you've got to supply me information. I got to know where I'm going. I got to know what I'm looking for. Number 3, availability. Of this paragraph, this is my favorite. Availability. Be available during the realtor's regular working hours to view properties. I don't know about you guys. I don't know what regular working hours are for me. So I flip that back and say, I'm going to be doing my best to make sure that I'm available whenever you are available. And if I can, I'll make it happen. If I can't, we'll set a different time. Consultation, we've just gone over that. We've just hit your wants and your needs and what it is, what real estate is right now for you guys. General conditions, equal opportunity. I cannot discriminate. You cannot discriminate. Fair? Fair. Notice of intended sale. If the property has had construction work performed, then Any of the liens need to make sure that that have been tied to the property need to get paid so that you do not obtain liens moving forward once you purchase. Legal and professional advice. I am a real estate agent. Here's what I'm not. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a CPA. I can advise and counsel you to a certain degree in the contract and as far as accounting goes with this. However, there becomes a point where I'm going to encourage you and advise you to go seek expert advice on things that I am not an expert in, like the law and, Section 1031. Those are things that you need to be aware of. Default and remedies. Default is this, is once we go under contract, we're through inspections, everything's been agreed to, appraisal is good, everything is hunky-dory, and we're set to close. One party says, I'm out. That party walks away for an illegitimate reason, and inside of that, they are walking away because I don't want to buy it. The buyer says, I don't want to buy it anymore. Just so you know, Missouri says you do not have to buy any property. However, there becomes consequences after you enter into a legal document. Consequences could be one of three things. Could be you could get sued for damages, commissions of the agents, and legal fees of the other party, as well as maybe losing your earnest money. It's legitimately a huge deal to walk away and break a contract. However, there are multiple ways of getting out of a contract legitimately. My partner has been in business for 19 years. We've had default come up one time and we settled outside of court. That's how rare it is. But as a buyer, I want you to know what that is. No other provisions. Number 6 is minimum brokerage services. These three things are the most general things that I will be doing for you. I will accept delivery of and present to you offers, counteroffers to buy, sell, or lease properties. I will assist you in developing, communicating, negotiating, and presenting offers, counteroffers, and notices related to those offers. And then lastly, I'll answer any questions you have to the best of my ability. Guys, here's the thing. If I don't know, I will tell you. I'm a straight shooter. I will tell you I don't know, but I will also go find out and let you know the answer thereafter. Signatures. Missouri is not an oral state. We can counter back and forth verbally. However, the last thing has to be in writing and signatures have to be on it. If you want something done, it needs to be on the last counter and it needs to be signed. Franchise disclosure. Number 1, I am a realtor and I am part of that franchise, as well as Keller Williams is a franchise. The effective date is today, and we'll fill that box in there. I will be Alan agent and Beth buyer. You will sign right here. Down here, these are the designated agents on my team to represent you. And then the last 2 documents here are to further go into the duties and obligations that we have for you. Now, we don't have to go over these things, but these, because we basically hit all of them, these are the things that we have. Guys, that is the exclusive contract. That's why it's important for you to know what it is, and so that you can go over it that easily. Who has questions on that? Anyone online have questions about the representation agreement? Say nope. Okay. Did I do this right? Okay, cool. We're not gonna, we can role play through this if you really want, but you guys don't have this in front of you, so I'm not gonna ask you to do that today. Okay. Guys, you can share your app. It's really simple. It's literally going into your app and pressing. Oh, this is a laser. I can't point it on that. It's literally going and share the KW app, and you can share it in any platform, through text, through social media, however you want to send it. Collections and saved homes. If you do use command will work in your database. And if you send the app through command to a client, those things will be tracked through command. I'm not going to beat a dead horse with aligning the guide. Okay. Ahas. Anything? What'd you learn today? Ask 1,000 questions. Yeah. It's incredibly powerful. And what he said is he has not been asking he's not been asking what their monthly budget is. And so that was his take. Kirk Online says the needs and wants are what go into the input on the MLS search. That's exactly right. Yeah. If you want to build a basic description of what a client is looking for, go press quick search on your MLS. What else, guys? That's right. Yeah. I've had multiple buyers say, hey, I'd like to, I found another lender, I know we're 3 weeks from closing, and, I'd like to change. No. That, your time to shop a lender was prior to us going under contract. Aaron said, know your worth. If you are willing to do the work for them, they should be willing to do their part. Signing the buyer's agency agreement. That's right. Getting that signed is absolutely imperative. Because if a buyer is unwilling to sign with you at some point, they are more than likely going to run you ragged in the process.
If you're with saw my name up there.
What?
Read the chat.
Okay. What? Go ahead.
Okay, anyways. What was I gonna say? Oh, if you're with friends and family and or family, and you're kind of doing a consult on what they're looking for, but they don't really care to go over agency, they just want to sign. Do you just briefly go over it with them, or do
Yeah,
you
so if
just-
they want to skip all of the legal stuff, I make sure that they know several points. I want them to know that this is a legally binding contract between the two of us, that this is a loyalty agreement, that I do have a fee that's included in that, and that I'm here to represent the best, them to the best part of my knowledge. And I'll probably hit a couple more things. I literally just flip through it with them and say, this is what this is, this is what this is, and I'll hit default. I'll make sure that they understand default. Has anyone been through the agency contract with you like that? Okay, so you guys have, okay, so he's been through it with you. Perfect. Okay. Kirk said you want to make sure that you saw the 3.2 that was listed in Bolivar yesterday. Okay, guys. Let's see. ahas to achievement. Recap. Daily success habits. Are you guys doing these diligently? Okay. I appreciate the honesty. Okay. Make sure that you do this diligently. Your database is a gold mine. But if you don't have anything in your database, there is no gold mine.
It's literally just doing all of.
Yeah, I mean, handwritten notes are probably what she said is she does most of these things except for the handwritten notes. Handwritten notes take the longest. They are incredibly important. You know, it is so important to have it handwritten versus printed out and just signed, especially if it's your immediate database. Absolutely. Learning scripts is important because this is what this says. Practicing and internalizing scripts allows you to grow your business. Scripts don't have to sound like scripts. I hope you know that what I just went over in the exclusive agency contract, that is all a script. It changes and varies very slightly with each individual that I go over it with, but I have internalized it. And I don't have to go through 4 pages of legal jargon and just read line by line with the client. I can hit the highlights because I've internalized what those 4 pages are. With scripts, you control the conversions, or excuse me, the conversations by using purposeful language that helps you get to the end point, a closed transaction. Right now in this business, it is not hard to get a client. What is hard is to close a client. Does that make sense? Scripts help you uncover motivations, both buyer and seller, and identify any objections so you can handle them up front. Okay, I think the last part is scripts, role playing, and lead generation. Scripts are, it says 30 minutes. I'm just going to tell you, go practice scripts. You know, you've got scripts inside of your booklet. Please look at them. They were developed for you. Know them, internalize them, and then make them your own. Don't go make them your own and then look at the scripts. Find the basics, find the foundation of that script, and then make it your own. It doesn't have to sound robotic. Just go read through those scripts. Know what they are, because the more you know, the more objections you can overcome. Okay. This is clear. Don't call the do not call list. Lead generation, use your scripts. It is 11:57. I hope you guys do lead generate today. It's just not gonna be in this class. Okay, guys, I appreciate it. If you don't have any more questions, have a wonderful day. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to come up to the office. My office is on the 2nd floor. You will see a big banner that says Evans Group. We are in the middle of the building on the south side of the building. Appreciate it, guys.
Do you want to go get lunch?
I have a million things I need to do.
Another biggie bag it is, man.